Welcome to the Life and Times podcast. Sit back, enjoy the conversation, enjoy the vibes, and thank you for checking us out. Why are you giving me an interview smile?
Because I'm nervous.
Oh my God, nervous.
Oh my gosh.
What's your
I
nails
knew
looking
you were
like?
gonna ask me that. I knew you were gonna ask me that.
I mean, so what they looking like? Let me see them.
They're
Cause
just
you,
plain. They're bare.
mm, mm, mm.
Okay, so I started using press-ons and I actually took my press-ons.
Press-ons.
Yeah. You know how much acrylics cost nowadays?
No.
Like $120 plus for a set. And that's every
Really?
month. Yeah, so I was like, let me just start doing like press-ons. And plus they're like way
Mm,
better for
mm. Oh my God. Oh, I'm gonna have to edit that. God dang.
not too much. Not
I'm
too
just
much.
playing. Just playing.
No, but they're way better for your nails than acrylics. And my nails are
Yeah.
stronger too.
Well, that's good. As long as they're healthy.
Yeah.
Even though they look struggle bus right now, it's all
Ooh.
good. You're, you're still my
Next.
you're still my favorite. All right, listeners, welcome to the Life and Times podcast. I'm Adrian. You already know it's no BS coming from me. I am joined for episode 6 with Miss Jayla right here. Say what's up to the people, Jayla.
Hello.
Okay. Um, where can we find you if you want to be found? You don't
You
have
can
to,
find
but
me absolutely. You
okay.
can find me on Instagram at Jayla Ash, JaylaAsh.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
She's good people, y'all. She's good follow. She's good people. So look her up. All right. So, listeners, once again, this is Life and Times podcast, where we have little random conversations with other people who have worked in the hospitality industry, like myself. And Jayla and I, we used to work together, a couple
Yes,
places.
a
I,
couple.
so I think we had a good working relationship, and I'm always appreciative of being able to keep in touch with those who work for me. And hell, we work together, we grind together. Now it's time to pod together. So
Yeah.
welcome to the podcast, ma'am.
Thanks for having me.
Oh my God, that sounds so fake. All right, so first question, Jayla.
hmm
What are you drinking?
I'm drinking some Kroger brand water. And then
Okay,
for my second drink, I have some sugar-free like mango juice.
okay. We're on our health kick. So,
Yeah, I'm trying
yeah.
to reduce my sugar intake, so
How's
it's
that been
nasty
going?
as fuck, but
Yeah,
I'm getting used to it now.
yeah.
I'm definitely getting used to it, so I
Um,
feel better about myself though.
hey, that's the key. I'm still not used to sugar-free drinks and stuff like that.
Yeah, it just tastes like what is it? Aspartame.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that
Mm-hmm.
little nasty like artificial flavor, but you get used to it, honestly.
Mm. All right. Well, I'm definitely not drinking that right now.
Heard?
Host is drinking. Uh, Line Creek Brewery is hashtag conserve Georgia. So it's a honey rye blonde. And for every 6 pack that you purchase of this local beer, they donate $1 toward conserving the wilderness of Georgia. So I guess you can drink and purchase that and feel good that you're kind of saving the tree, but not really. So as I
Hashtag
all
not sponsored.
facts, not sponsored yet, not sponsored yet.
Right.
Like I tell all the guests, as I always say, if it sucks, I'm gonna let y'all know. So, cheers to you with your mango drink and
Yay.
Kroger H2O.
Yes.
Not bad. It's not bad. Not bad. All
This
right.
one
So,
is.
we always like to start off the podcast, Jayla, with positivity and flowers and all that good stuff. So
Hmm.
for you, I want to I want to say that you've always been one of my favorite employees, one of my favorite
Yes,
coworkers.
I have.
We have I think we have a pretty similar sense of humor, but in different mannerisms. I'm a little bit more dry than you, but you're
Yeah.
you're close to my dryness for
Yeah,
sure.
you're super fucking dry. To the
Yeah.
point where it makes me like question like, is he fucking
Am I
with
being
me? Or, yeah.
serious? Exactly. And that was always my thing. I was always
Yeah.
that's how I got my kicks. I meant my rocks off by
Yeah, you did.
just saying something and walking away and having employees think that I'm a psychopath and
Yeah, literally the Adrian walk off was definitely a thing.
oh yeah. I mastered that. I mastered that. Many years. But like I said, I always love working with you. You're really good people. Always had great conversation skills and you were a good personality to have around. So, you know,
Thanks.
hired you as a host, saw you grow into a server and
Yeah,
you helped me on my catering and all that stuff.
I
So,
did. Those Fuda
yeah.
days.
Yeah, we're not gonna name drop who we work with, but yeah,
Just know
fuck
it's
them.
fuck those people.
Facts upon facts.
Yes.
All right, so but anyway, like I said, cheers to you. I'm always excited to see see you moving forward. You've always been you're one of the most intelligent employees I've had. So take that for whatever you want to take
Thanks.
that as. So that's to you.
Thanks.
All right, so to set the table, we call it setting the table, Jayla, where I want the listeners here to get a better idea of who you are and what makes you tick. So we got a couple
Okay.
questions for you dealing with hospitality.
Okay.
Are you ready for them?
I am so ready.
Cool. All right, first question. Growing up, what was your perception of hospitality workers?
Growing up, my perception of hospitality workers, I would say I kind of just saw it as like, okay, you go to a restaurant, you have a server, and they just bring in your food. Like, that's just it. It was no extra stuff or like, I never had a concept of like a host or like a busser or a manager. Like, it was just there's a server coming to your
Mm-hmm.
table, bringing you bread, bringing you Sprite, and that's it.
That's it.
So that's kind of just, that's how I saw it.
Okay. Okay. That's fair. That's fair. Um, all right. So, what was your first job in hospitality?
My first job, I worked at Dunkin' Donuts in high school. So that was like my
Okay.
first introduction to like customer service, like barista type things. And I went to Chipotle in
Mm-hmm.
college. And then when I met you,
You
yeah,
joined my brigade.
yeah,
Okay. So going back to Dunkin' Donuts, like was that a busy location or was it
it was
like
super
what was the
busy.
vibe?
It was
Super
so
busy?
busy. Yeah. And it was super busy. One, because it was like the only Dunkin' Donuts in my hometown.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was no drive through. So everybody had to come inside and it was just like
Ugh.
nonstop. Yeah.
So did you work like in the mornings or like
I would
yeah?
work in the mornings from like at 6 o'clock in the morning on the weekends
Okay.
until like 3 p.m. And then on days I had school, I would come in at like 4 or 5 o'clock until close.
Got you.
Yeah.
How'd you like it? Did you like I mean,
It
how
was
long you did it all
cool.
throughout high school? What?
I did it for a year and a half, like my last year and a half of high school, but it was so much fun, honestly. It was so cool.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. That's what's up.
I have some great memories working there.
Tell me one.
So as a closer working at Dunkin' Donuts, it would be me and one of my friends from high school, and they let us actually close the rest or the store down together. So it's
Mm-hmm.
just like two 16-year-olds in a Dunkin' Donuts by ourselves, like closing the place down. Um, the craziest thing that ever happened during the close, one of our customers got into a fight with another customer and we didn't know what the fuck to do. So we were kind of just like in the back, like calling our manager, like, hey, John, like, what are we supposed to do? Like, are we supposed to call 911 or what? And so, funny enough, the owner's mom, it was like a family Dunkin' Donuts. She lived
Mm-hmm.
across the street, so she came over and like diffused it. But oh my gosh, it wasn't like a crazy fight, just because the two customers that got into a fight, they were regulars. So like she knew them and everything and kind of settled them down. But it was still a crazy experience.
What sparked the fight?
Just two old white guys, just with different political views.
Ugh.
Yeah. I still talk to one of them to this day, though, honestly. He actually went to UGA.
Nice. Go dogs.
Yeah, he was super cool.
Word. All right. So next question: do you think that everyone should have at least one job in the hospitality industry, and
Absolutely.
why? Okay.
Absolutely. It just shapes you. Like, it shapes you in every way imaginable. Like,
Okay.
emotionally, like you just learn people, how people work, how people tick.
Mm-hmm.
And you just learn how to read people from like just the moment you see somebody, you can just read them. I feel like
Mm.
hospitality just it definitely shapes you. And I
Okay.
think it can bring out the best in your personality too.
It can bring out the worst
It
too.
definitely can. It can bring out
Cause
everything.
some of y'all, man, I constantly used to pray for.
Listen, we needed
But
it.
oh, I know we all did. We all did at one point
Definitely.
or another. All right, so that was setting the table. Those are some good answers, Jayla. So let's let's get into let's get into the topic, the reason why I brought you on. So, listeners, like I said, I've known Jayla for a number of years now,
Hmm.
and one thing that I see, one thing about me, I don't know, I give like uncle vibes off to people,
For sure.
you know, like young dad or slash uncle vibes to all of my employees. And, I'm not going to call myself washed because that's a state of mind. I'm definitely not washed. But I used to come to my employees and like, what's the tea?
Literally
What's
all the
going on?
time. You so messy too.
Just again, working in a restaurant, you're there for God. God knows how many hours.
Yeah.
You got to make things entertaining for yourself. However, and one of those things that used to always entertain me was talking to my employees about random things in their life. One thing with a lot of my employees was dating.
Right.
And I used to get stories. I used to have to be a psychologist and give advice. And nah, he probably didn't mean that. This is what he meant. Or maybe you should back off on this one because of just
Yeah.
different little things as a manager, as a general manager, being responsible for a number of young adults, some old adults. So back to what I was saying, the one of the biggest topics or one of the constant topics with my people were dating life and all that good stuff. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about dating. We're both in the city of Atlanta,
Yeah.
the great city of Atlanta. Um, Jayla, how is dating in Atlanta for you?
It's garbage. The worst
Okay.
experience ever. 10 out of 10 would not recommend. Like, would
Damn,
not
10
rec.
out of 10?
Yeah, absolutely. Hell no. Like, this shit's garbage.
Why?
It's like Atlanta, I think part of the reason why dating in Atlanta sucks is because everybody knows each other. Like,
That's a good
you
point.
are literally what, like 4 or 5 degrees of separation from like everybody in the city.
Mm,
And so I just feel like we should all just find one best friend and you guys make a pact. That's what I'm about to start doing. Just find a friend, make a pact. Hey, if we're both single in 5 years, then it's me and
it's a
you.
wrap.
It's me
That's
and
us.
you. That's honestly how it
I'm
is.
I'm not I'm not too particularly opposed to that because I was lucky and you know, she's my best friend, so
Yeah.
that makes some sense.
Yeah.
Now, I will say one thing that I used to always talk about with y'all if we were talking about dating or stuff like that, was when I was dating, which wasn't that long ago. I'm not washed. It hadn't been that long ago. But my dating experience was so much different than you all's dating experience. And it was so much different than my wife's
Yeah.
dating experience. We've had these conversations. So why I have my own theory as to why it's different, a completely different experience to date in Atlanta as a guy versus dating as a woman.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's such a difference?
I mean, I just kind of think of it from like the emotional aspect of it. I just feel like men are not as, or it's a fact that they're not as emotional as women. And for me, I think I'm a pretty emotional person, but not like in a bad way, you know? And so it's just kind of hard to find somebody who will care about your feelings and is not so like self-centered. I feel like a lot of men in Atlanta are very self-centered. And it's all about like
Really?
how many girls can you collect and put in your pocket at once and just have like a little rotation. That's definitely what they
That's
give. That's definitely what they
huh.
give. So they don't have the energy to give every woman emotions, you know, like
Mm, mm,
suck
mm.
badly.
Now, my question to you, and this is what I've posed to my wife as well. I said, you know, do you think that we suck because of the ratio? Like we
Mm,
have my experience dating using dating apps or something, stuff like that, like
mhm.
Tinder. I met Lois on Bumble. One of the other hosts at a restaurant that will remain nameless suggested, "Hey boss, you should get on Bumble
Oh, really?
because you'll kill on Bumble." And I was like, "Word." And
Yeah.
I got on it, and that's when I met her. One thing, I never really had any problems having dates or connecting because there was a good amount of it just always seemed like it was a crap load of women out there.
Mhm. I mean,
So
I don't think there's like a ratio problem. I just think it's so easy to get a date nowadays. Like, you know, you can just go out on the street. That's how I found one of my exes. Like I just found him on the street, you know.
found them on the street.
Literally found him on the street. Like, hey, we went for a date like that same night. But it's no issue getting a date. It's just like people are not of quality. Like it's just
Okay, hold on,
hard.
hold on. When you say not of quality, what do you mean?
Like I said, they're just juggling so many people. They have issues. They don't have a job. They don't have a car. Like that's not of quality to me. They don't have no money. Like it's poor
Okay,
quality. Very
okay,
a lot of pickings, but slim pickings at the same time.
okay. So when it comes to these qualities, are you willing to?
No.
Okay, hey, see, all right, see, and
Nope.
okay, cool. So you you stopped me before I even said, "Hey,
Yeah, no.
are you able to compromise?" But you said no,
Nope.
and you don't see any issue with that.
No. Why
Possible,
would
possible.
I? Okay, would I compromise on having a man that does not have a car? No.
No, in Atlanta, in the city,
This is not a walkable
it's
city like
public
that.
transportation.
But it don't go
It's Uber.
everywhere.
Okay, what if he's paying for Uber? Like he's just like, all right, baby, we got Uber Black on the way. We're good. It's up.
If he's
What?
taking an Uber Black everywhere, then that means he's bad with his money because that's like $1,000+ a month. When he could be putting that towards a car. So he's all not only does
That's
he
his
not have a
right.
car, but he makes poor financial decisions.
What if he can't drive?
What do you mean he can't
What if
drive?
what if he doesn't know how to drive? And that's the reason why he does it. I'm just asking. I'm putting out scenarios.
If he doesn't know how to drive as a grown man, well, as a man, period. You don't know how
I
to
mean,
drive? That's a no for me.
okay,
That's a no for
okay.
me. What other
Now
scenarios do you have?
the job thing. I get that. I understand
Yeah.
that you you obviously while you're dating, you want to be able to share experience with them
Right.
Obviously, that sort of thing. I get that. Man, I'm trying to think of any other. What are other no's for you? Like what are
Um, no job, no car. What's like another has kids? Like that's another thing. Like a lot of these men in Atlanta have children.
okay.
Like not even just one child, but they'll have like multiple by different women, and that's a turn off too.
Okay. I meant the Lord said be fruitful,
He sure
so
did, but he did
all
say that,
right.
but it's a no for me still. I cannot.
Okay. I hear you. I hear you on that. I meant none of those of what you said are like outrageous.
Yeah.
Like the no car thing, I could probably push back on you on that. To be
Really? If
honest, like
Lois didn't have a
yeah,
car while y'all were
if you
dating.
if she didn't have a car, I mean, we both live in Midtown. We don't technically really need a car
Yeah.
to go places. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we're fortunate where we can walk around if we want
Mhm.
to. But when it comes to like, okay, if we just want to do a pop up drive up to Nashville type deal,
Right.
that's probably not going to happen if neither one of us is driving. So
Exactly.
I understand that. So all right, so we're moving past big nose. Let's talk about what gets your attention.
What gets my attention? Hmm.
Yes, because I'll be honest, what my original plan was, I wanted to reach out to a couple friends, whoever's on some dating apps, tell them, hey, screenshot your stuff or your pictures, and I'm gonna share it to Jayla and see. I was gonna blank out their face so the listeners wouldn't be able to, or viewers wouldn't be able to identify who they are.
Yeah.
But I would say like, yo, what do you think of this guy, or what do you think of this person?
Right.
So we're gonna skip all that and say, hey, what gets Jayla's attention?
Okay, so let me imagine like when I was on Hinge back in the day, like what a
Mm-hmm.
profile would look like that would get my
Mm-hmm.
attention. So, no children. It would say
Okay.
like
No, no. Okay, less on the nose, but more about like, oh, this person intrigues me because of this. You know what I'm saying? Like he has a nice smile.
okay,
That
okay,
gets
like
my
physical.
attention.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Or physical or mental. Maybe he says something in the bio that you're like, this guy has a working functional brain.
Mm,
He reminds me of my boss Adrian, like that sort of thing.
now I have to think a little harder, but
Yeah, it's not that many guys as insightful as your boss Adrian. So that's the way I
I
took
would
that.
say like yeah, it definitely has to have a nice smile. Maybe like even some tattoos, I guess, would kind of catch my attention, but not too many, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Someone that has on their profile like they do not smoke, they don't do drugs, they don't pop pills, things like that,
Mm-hmm.
because that's very hard to find in Atlanta. Everybody's a druggie here, drugged out completely. Um, his height would have to be at least like 5'8" and up.
Okay, so just for context, listeners, Jayla,
I'm
you're
five
5 foot.
one.
You're five
Yeah,
one. So you said 5'8"
yeah.
is cutoff.
Mm-hmm. Or not the
Okay,
cutoff, but that's where it starts.
so shorter than that, that's a no. Off jump.
I mean, I have this rule where I'm like, anybody that's taller than me, I would entertain,
Hmm.
but what if I find somebody that's like 5'2" or like 5'3"?
Yeah. What if he's 5'3"? He's cute. He got a mouthpiece on him.
Mm,
He hits all the other
I would
specifications.
have to pray about it. I would definitely have to pray
Give
about it.
give little Shawty a chance.
Yeah,
That's
little
what I'm
shot
saying.
you a chance, right?
Little Shawty.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Now I've dated girls that are taller than me.
Really? Did you feel like uncomfortable or like emasculated?
You know me. The fuck? Are you serious? Are
What?
you asking
I
me
mean,
that?
you seem like a very confident person and like you display that,
Yes.
but deep down inside,
Yes.
people seem confident, but they might have like a tiny reservation.
No.
Really?
Not at all. She was 6 feet tall. She was beautiful. She was awesome. And in fact, I remember one time I was at her place. We were about to go out. and she was getting her stuff together because y'all are always late to
Not me.
things. You were late to this recording.
701, man.
I'm just playing. I'm teasing. But anyway, so she's like she's got her outfit on and she's about to put on shoes and she's like, "What shoes do you think I should wear?" And I was like, "I don't know. What shoes are you considering?" So she shows me some shoes and like two of the three are like one was like some sneakers or
Mm,
something that looked nice with the dress or whatever. But then she had like some flats, some nice looking flats or whatever. And then she had some high heels or something. And I was like, those heels look nice. And she was like, are you sure? Like hinting like, yo, I'm towering over you. Now listeners, I'm not short, but I'm not 6 feet. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? So I was like, nah, man, those heels look great. You look awesome, man. Like, why the fuck would I tell you not
not
to
to wear
look
them. Yeah,
awesome, not to look your best in account of my ego? Like, that's fucking stupid.
yeah.
And she was like, yeah, you're right. And she put them on, and I was like, I don't give a
Looking
shit
up
how
like,
tall you
yeah,
are.
you look great.
Hey, I'm looking up. I'm looking up. Like, hey, I got a bad
I'm
one.
weak.
So who's gonna have anything to say for me?
Period.
All right. So what else stands out to you?
Someone like if their bio says like loves dogs, has a dog, knows how to cook,
Hmm.
having a good relationship with their family, like people that touch on that in their bio, that's super important too. Like
Okay.
that's a good little trait to have. Family oriented, yeah, I like that.
Okay. Do Question: do you feel dating? I mean, in this aspect, do you feel it's more pressure on the women or the men when it comes to dating here in Atlanta?
Mm, I feel like there's more pressure. I don't know actually. I feel like
The only reason why I asked that is because again, at least statistically, is more women than men here in Atlanta, right?
mhm,
Then you start talking like, hey, there are gay guys here in Atlanta, right?
yeah,
So again, our the ratio is more me as a straight black man in Atlanta. I have more options to date
yeah,
and hang out and do whatever I want
right,
versus where, like you've been saying, the options are not as plentiful.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As in quality or your standards or that sort of thing. So, with that being said, bringing all that together, I think it's more pressure on y'all
Mm.
than it is for us. But do you agree or do
I
you?
think now that you put it that way, I think there's way more pressure on women, like just from like finding a straight man, like just to begin with in Atlanta. That's
Come on now,
no.
don't. Nah. We not doing that.
I'll
We
make that
not we
point. I'll
not
leave
gonna
it
act like
alone.
every guy
No,
down here. All
not
right, yeah.
everyone, but it's I've seen some things. My gay friends have showed me some things, and you'd be like, "Who? Like really?" But
Oh, I know, buddy.
yeah.
I know, buddy.
But I would say yeah, there definitely is probably like more pressure on women just to like have all your shit together, which being
Right.
25, like it's still a work in progress, like it's definitely a
Yeah.
work in
Yeah.
progress, and we're all trying to make something out of nothing, but I think for women especially, like since there are not very many men, you have to make yourself more marketable. But that's like
Mm.
nothing about trying to make yourself marketable for a man is appealing to me, but it's like that's what you have to do nowadays to get
Why?
one.
Why do you say that? Elaborate on
What,
that.
to make yourself more marketable?
Like, what? Why is that not appealing to you?
I don't want to do anything for a man.
So you want a man, but you're
I'm
not.
not willing to like parade myself around like a piece of meat or something. Absolutely not.
Hmm.
Hmm. Why? Why
I
would
mean,
I?
I'm just saying. Like again, you want
Let me
this.
not
Like
say
you
I
have
want.
to.
Or let me say, yeah, I guess I would say I do
You do
want,
want it.
I
You
don't
want
need it,
ultimately
but I
want a
don't need it.
relationship.
And it's not something that I'm super pressed for right now.
Okay. See, that's I
Yeah, like
respect that.
right
I
now, I'm
respect
definitely having my way. Having my way.
Let me this conserved Georgia honey rye blind is delicious, folks, just so y'all know. And again, you're listening to the Life and Times podcast with Adrian and Miss
Yeah,
Jayla.
we'll just leave
So
it at that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We outside. That's all good.
Okay?
I know.
Extra
I know.
outside.
I know. All right, so let's get back to on the dating in Atlanta. I want let's start off on the positive end, Jayla. Tell me about the best first date that you've had in Atlanta since you've been
The
here.
best first date.
I want
Mm,
all the details.
probably the best first date. Oh my gosh. I've been on so many first dates, I can't even like remember all of them. But the most recent one I went on that was pretty good. I actually met the guy
Hmm.
on Hinge, and we ended up getting dinner at Barcelona one night. And like the
Okay.
weather,
Shout out to
I love
Barcelona.
Barcelona. Oh my gosh, it's
Yeah.
so good.
I haven't been there. I haven't been there since the pandemic.
Yeah, it's so
Jesus.
good. But we went to the one off of Howell Mill for dinner, and we sat on the
Yeah.
patio, had a bottle of wine, had all these like tapas, and we just had like a good conversation. And then we walked over to what's that little plaza with the put shack and everything? You know what I'm talking about? The name.
Um, I forgot
Yeah,
the name
but
of it. I
there's
know
like
what
a
you're talking
Jenny's
about.
over there, and
Yeah.
we walked over to Jenny's and we
Right.
just
Right.
hung out. But it was a pretty good first date.
That's a good little spot
Yeah.
to walk around and be able to
Mhm.
get to know them.
Definitely very grown and sexy, like splitting a bottle of wine on the patio. And that was a good little
Okay.
vibe.
Okay. How long did he how long was he uh in consideration?
We still talk now,
Or
but
okay. I
um
mean, what's stopping it?
okay, so
We podding. We
funny
podding.
story.
So
We went on a couple dates after that, and he was very like, I wanna make this work, but I just feel like I don't see you enough. And me, I'm like an extroverted introvert, you know? And so I'm okay with seeing like the person I'm dating
mm-mm,
for like, like once or twice a week. I'm okay with that. But the
mm-mm,
moment you want to start seeing me three, four times, you want to come over to my house at night,
mm-mm,
it's a no for me. So he ended up ghosting me. Wait,
mm-mm.
listen, he ended up
Oh,
ghosting
really?
me because of that. Yes. And so they always come back though. He came back. He came back and was like, "Hey, I think you're really dope. I want to get to know you more. I want to date you. I want to see what the future holds, and let's just try again." And so, me, I got to get my revenge first. So I made him work for it.
Here
I
we
made him swipe
go.
his card a couple times, and
Oh
now
my
we're back in good
God. Here we
graces.
go.
What?
Oh my God. He had to pay
Reparations,
reparations.
absolutely. But yeah, now we're cool again, and we're probably gonna hang out like later today. I don't know, or tomorrow. But he's really
All
cool
right. Well,
for the most part.
shout out to Second
Yeah, I'm
Chances,
trying to get better at that too.
brought to you by American Express or MasterCard or
His Amex.
what a American Express. Shout out to them. All right. So tell me tell me about the worst first date that you
Oh
were
my
ever on
gosh.
here in Atlanta.
Okay, again, I met him on Hinge. I have so many Hinge horror stories. But I met him on Hinge and we were texting and I was at work. And this is when I worked in Sandy
Mm-hmm.
Springs and he happened to live in Sandy Springs.
Mm.
And so we were like having good conversation. He's like, "Hey, you should come over." And I wasn't really thinking anything about it. And this would be like our first time meeting up. But, I got off work. It's like,
Eating at his house?
yeah, I know. I wasn't thinking anything
Mm-mm.
about it. So I went over there after I got off
Shh.
work. It's like
Shitting me.
11:30. I know, right? Never
What?
again.
Oh my god.
So I get over to his place, and he, first of all, he lied about his height.
Okay.
So his profile said he was like 5'8" or 5'9", something like that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
my little thing,
Yes.
my requirement. So when he like meets me outside my car, I'm like, "Hey, I don't see you. Like, where are you?" And he's like, "I'm right in front of you." And I'm looking
It's like
at this like little figure,
little fella.
this little figurine walking towards me, and I'm like, "Not this man just bamboozled me." So I let it go. I'm like, okay, whatever. So we get into his house. We're watching TV, talking. Well, the TV's on in the background, and we're talking.
Mm-hmm.
And it starts to get like a little more comfortable, cozy. And I'm like, okay, like this is our first time meeting up. Like, what's really going on? So
Mm.
fast forward, whatever happens, did not happen actually. And he felt
I
some type
was
of way about it. And so the next morning, he he's like, "Hey, did you make it home?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I did." And then he's like, "Okay, great. Like it was really nice to meet you. You had a great vibe, this, that, and the third, whoop de whoop." And I was like, "Yeah, I felt the same way about you." Next thing I know, as I'm responding back to him, I'm blocked. And I was like, "Oh wow." Like, okay, because this man definitely had just told me like he wants me to have his kids. And this is on the first date. Yeah. And so
yeah,
I'm like, how do we go from that
that's a red
to this?
flag. As soon as you do once you proclaim something like that, that's a
Definitely.
red
And
flag.
it was honestly a mind fuck, like that whole experience. Just from going to that to being blocked, it was like definitely like, wow,
Question: what would it take for him to get a second chance?
absolutely nothing. Nothing. He would have to bring my dead dog back to life for me to give him a second chance. Like that man was very unhinged.
Mm,
Yes, that was a crazy
unhinged
experience.
on hinge.
Was that even a
Ugh.
first date? No, not really, but kind
That
of.
was more of a
First
link
encounter.
up. Yeah. First
Still.
encounter of the short kind. Damn.
Yeah, that was wild. I think I had deleted Hinge after that for like a good month or so.
That was a sign from above for you.
Hmm.
I don't
Definitely.
think I ever I don't think I ever really had any shitty first dates. I meant,
Really?
nah, nah. I
Awkward?
want to say I've had an awkward first date, and I will definitely put this one out.
Oh,
Okay,
yikes.
so I live here in Midtown, so I'm right in the thick of things. I can walk into the city. I
Yeah,
can drive downtown. I can go to Atlantic Station, like that sort of thing. Everything is always close by me, you know?
right.
So I link up with this young lady at a bar in Atlantic Station. I was like, okay, cool. I'll link up with you. I'm just getting off. I mean, I'm just getting off of work or something.
Yeah.
I just gotta hit the shower and then I'll come hang out for dinner or whatever. So we go to a bar there in Atlantic Station, and she's cute. She's cute, and we're having pretty good conversation. But it gets to the point where I ask her like, "Yo, how'd you get down here from?" I want to say she was from Connecticut or something.
Hmm.
So I'm just like, "Yo, what brings you down here or whatever?" And then she's like, "Well, me and my ex boyfriend, we moved down here."
Yikes.
And I was like, "Oh, okay, okay. How long ago was that?" And she was like 2 months ago or something super recent. So I'm like, okay, 2 months ago, you and your boyfriend moved down here. What's the deal? Like, what happened? Just trying to get some more context to what's going on with her.
Yeah.
And then she starts to tell me she moved down here because of her job. He didn't have a job,
See?
so he moved down. He was her roommate.
That's that shit.
Now he's no longer her boyfriend, but he's her roommate, and he gets super jealous about stuff. And it was just like the more and more she's talking, I'm like, baby, it sound like y'all not broken up. Y'all still together, low key.
In the
You know what I'm
same
saying?
bed, like,
Right. And I was just like, so what's the deal? Like, is he moving back home or? She's like, no, he's just trying to find his own place or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, cool. And then she's just talking more and more. And the more, once I opened that door, now it's starting to talk about, now she's starting to talk about more about why she, why he pisses her off.
mm,
And it was more about like, yeah, we should go back here or whatever, but his ass is probably there playing video games or some shit. And I'm like,
what?
yeah, I'm definitely in my head, I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely good on going back and meeting old buddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like that for me.
Yeah.
I got my own place and it's not far. Like that sort of thing, if that's the case. But like it just seemed like as soon as I opened the door about that and started asking a few questions, it just unraveled to her basically being this mother to this
Literally.
dude, this dude that's playing video games at the house, but they're
Yikes.
not together. And it was just super weird. And I was just like, yeah, it was nice meeting you. I walked her back to her car and I was like, yeah, I'm not
How did you
ever
meet
reaching
her?
back out. Um, on Tinder.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah, yeah,
I feel like Tinder is more of like use Tinder when you want to fuck. And I
man,
thought Hinge was like the
yeah.
more sophisticated one. Oh, that's the type of
Really?
time you was on? Yeah, I think Hinge is more sophisticated.
Hmm.
You don't think so? And then
See,
Bumble's like
Bumble.
in
uh,
between.
Yeah, really? I thought Bumble was like more like okay, we're actually trying to do something
Um,
more responsible than just linking up. Like
I've never
Tinder
used
was.
Bumble,
Yeah,
so I don't
Tinder
know.
was like that. So, but I mean, but yeah, that was probably my worst date. I don't even really know my best date. I guess I can't even say Lois is my best date because like she was an asshole.
Was she really?
Yeah, she was an asshole, man.
Yikes.
My wife was an asshole, and I probably didn't help either because I did tell her a story that I probably should have kept for later.
Mm,
But I was like, hey, drinks are flowing and we're talking, we're vibing. Let me tell you how I almost beat up this musician that all of us like. So
well, two assholes that fell in love. You
that's
love
it.
to see it.
That's
I
it.
literally have y'all's like little wedding invite on my fridge
Hmm.
as like a token of hope.
One of my frat brothers said it looks like one of those cult flyers. Like it looks like two
Does
people.
it?
Like a. That's what he said. He was like
Maybe.
both of y'all are in a garden of flowers, dressed the same, both looking in the sky, smiling like there's no
In the
other.
field, low key.
Yeah,
Low
yeah. He
key,
was like,
yeah.
that's a definite cult. That's definitely. Why did you send me this cult propaganda? And I was like, I thought it was a vibe. It
Wait,
was a
which
cool picture.
friend? I talked to one of your friends a little bit.
Let's talk about that.
Oh, he's really
Yeah,
cool.
he is good people. But
Oh,
tell
you know
me
which one I'm
about him.
talking about?
I think so.
I forgot his name though.
You don't. We're not going to say any
Okay,
names on
good.
this
Okay, good, good.
podcast.
But we talked because I met him at your wedding and we sat together. And he's
Yeah.
super cute. He's super cool. But I was still like kind of talking to my ex a little bit at the time. So I was like, let me not be messy and, messed up
Mm-hmm.
and drag him into it too. So I just kind of left it alone.
Mm.
But we talk every
So
once in a while on Instagram,
okay. Yeah, he's good people. I've known him. Shit. Did he tell you how long we've known each other?
probably.
Since like 90, since like seventh grade.
That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. We had a couple little connections being made there,
Mm,
and but a couple of y'all were. on whatever time y'all were on.
Yeah.
So
We took pictures in
these
a little
things
photo
happen.
booth and everything.
Really?
Yeah,
Mm.
it was cute.
You didn't tell me that.
He was like my man for the night. Yeah. My man, my man, my man.
Well, shout out to that dude because that's one of the homies. So I'll probably see him in the next week or two. So I'll tell him that you asked about him. Eh. All right, you
Like,
using your
don't.
cut privilege.
Don't.
All right, man. All right. So in the podcast, at the end of the podcast, Jayla, we ask you a question from last week's guest, and you have to answer it. You have to be honest. You can take as long as you want answering it, and then you have to give us a question for next week's guest. So if you're ready, I'm ready. I can
Okay,
give it.
I'm ready.
You ready? All right. So here's a scenario. It's the end of the world, Jayla.
Okay.
End of the world. Let's say zombie apocalypse. Who
Oh,
cares? You know,
right.
you're leaving your home. You only have one bag, and you have to leave with 5 items only. What 5 items are you leaving with?
Okay. I'm taking my puppy,
Okay.
my Bible,
Okay.
mm, my phone. Does my phone count or that's the automatic?
I mean, that counts.
Okay.
It's got to be
Yeah.
five
So my
items.
puppy, my Bible, my phone. I'm
Okay.
taking whatever cash is in my wallet.
Cash? Okay.
Yeah, it's the end of
Okay.
the world. You think your Visa's
Okay.
gonna work? I'm taking
No.
some cash, and then maybe what else am I taking? Some hand sanitizer, probably.
So basically, you're gonna survive like 30 minutes in the
Honestly,
apocalypse. That's
during
what you're
a
telling
zombie
me.
apocalypse, you can just kill me. Like, I wouldn't want to
Oh
fight.
man,
I
you
wouldn't want
gotta go
to.
out with a fight, man.
Mm-mm.
At least take out a wall of them, just so the next man
Absolutely
can.
not. I just jump out the window.
Oh man, come on.
Yeah, no.
Okay, okay.
Take me home, Lord, please.
Oh man, take me to the king.
Literally.
All right. So, what's your question for next week's guest?
My question is, oh, first of all, rest in peace, Tina Turner, because that was just on
That's a
my
fact.
mind. But I
That's a
would
fact.
say, actually, in relation to that, if you could reincarnate one celebrity or just famous person in general, who would
Okay.
it be and
Okay.
why?
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. So next we have the Life and Times playlist. Listeners, check us out on Spotify. Look it up. The Life and Times playlist is basically a curation of vibes from the host as well as the guest each week. So we contribute to Jayla. What 2 songs are you giving the people? And don't say Drake because we all know Drake. So give us something.
Can I say Nicki Minaj? Nicki
What depends
Minaj.
on what song. What you got?
Um, Red Ruby to Sleeze. That's
Okay.
that's my song right
Okay.
now.
Okay. Okay. What else?
Mm, that's another one.
Shout out to the Barbs. Are you a Barb? You're not a Barb,
I'm
are you?
like a mini Barb.
See, you're
I'm
not.
not an
That's
obsessive
not real
one. I'm not an
Barbs.
obsessive one. That's why I'm saying like a mini one. So
Barbs are you. To be a Barb, you got to be a
you
Barb.
got to be
It's
mentally
not.
ill. But
Hey, shout out to mental illness, man. Go get some help. It's out there.
one
You can
call
get it
away.
straight up. Did you see Swarm?
Swarm now.
Have you? Do you? Are you
Is
aware
that
of
the
it?
one that's like about the soccer team? Or no, no,
No,
no, no.
no,
I'm
no.
thinking of
That's
something
that's
else.
the Yellow
Yeah, yeah,
Jacket
yeah.
shit.
See,
Yeah,
Swarm, Yellow Jacket, whatever.
true.
Swarm is the one. I know the one. I know what it's about. About
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
groupie thing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
The Beyonce fan
Yeah.
type
No.
thing. It's even though she seems more like a barb than,
Mm.
but I'll set that aside. What's your second song to the playlist?
What's like my second favorite song? Oh, Special by Lizzo.
I like that
That's my
song.
song.
I like that song. I have found out that I love
Me
Lizzo.
too.
Like in a legit in a I've avoided Lizzo. No shade, but I've
Yeah.
avoided Lizzo for years.
Right.
And I just found out like maybe like legit 3 months ago. I was like, Lizzo's fucking
Yeah. She's
awesome.
fine.
I love her music,
She's
man.
super
She
fine.
fucking dope.
She just mind her
Another person that I
business.
just found out that I actually love is Harry Styles. So
Really?
I fucking love Harry
That's
Styles.
that white shit.
Yeah, yeah, I know, I know. I listen to everything, but I fucking love Harry Styles. I'm not even
Not
gonna
you
lie. All
fucking
right,
love Harry Styles.
yes,
Great.
that channel, the white boy. I fucking love Harry Styles.
Like rage.
All right, so I got two songs for the playlist. The first one is from Lion Babe, and it's called Rockets. It's featuring Mo Mox. It's a dope song, dope track,
Okay.
really good vibe. Second song is gonna be from Benny Sings, and the name of the song is "Don't Look." Check it out. It's a dope song, dope vibe, really good energy, and I think you guys will like it. Just check it out. Follow it on Spotify, the Life and Times playlist. So, Jayla, we've reached the end of the podcast. How do you feel? Do you feel as though your life has changed? Do you feel like you
Absolutely.
can go on another day and
I
just
feel like
thrive
I'm
and
gonna
all that good
sleep
stuff?
so good tonight
Gonna sleep
after
so
this.
good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listeners, follow us again, or Jayla, give the people again where can they follow you?
So my Instagram is Jayla Ash. So JaylaAsh.
Cool, cool. And again, she's a cool follow. She's a really good person. Uh, I have a special place in my heart for Miss Jayla here.
Yay.
So thank you again for joining me, ma'am. Folks, again, follow us on Instagram and YouTube at Suplex Dinner Club. If you like college football talk, we drop every Monday. Dogs versus all y'all. Check us out. We don't just talk about the two-time defending national champion Georgia Bulldogs. We talk about all things college football, hence all y'all. And of course, on Wednesdays, y'all know the vibes. This is the Life and Times podcast, which is short for the Life and Times of a Restaurant Lifer podcast. So, y'all have a great week. Take care of each other, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Peace.